Hi there, so we now have the TTfone TT970 4G phone, which is, I think it's pitched at being for seniors. Comes with charging cradle, power supply. Let's pop it out. So it's the old older style sort of clamshell really design. Got a front screen which pops on. When someone calls you, it's going to pop up that picture. You've got the picture in and telephone number. You've got some icons down here for battery, messaging, etc. On the back, there's a speaker, and then you've got a pop-off plastic cover, very much to the older style phones, where it gives you access to the removable battery, SIM card. It's got a micro SD card slot. You've got volume rockers on the side. Still has the 3.5mm port for headphones. You want to pop them in, and it's also got a micro USB port. Also, if you want to charge it direct from the cable rather than using the cradle. Popping it open, you get some large buttons here, and then you also get the top touch screen, so you can switch between the two, and then using the button here you can scroll across. It's got some apps built in, so we've got WhatsApp, we've got messaging. You can just use this to scroll across, or you can use switch across to touching it and go back. So WhatsApp, call logs, photos, and you just scroll through. Phone book, camera, alarm. It's got quite a lot of functionality built into it. Magnify if you want to see things a little bit closer. It's not fantastic. Social media, which then takes you into, you've got Facebook Lite, YouTube, browser mode, etc. Multimedia, FM radio, music, video. It's got, I think, 5 gig of memory built into it. There are some apps already on there. It's got something called Aptoid. Now, this actually runs, I think, Android 8.1, but it's not running Google or Google Play, so you can't access the Google Play Store. Now, it does have something called, say, Aptoid, which is sort of a bit like Google Play, but you can't access any of the Google apps. You can't actually use the Google Play Store. You can't use Google Maps and stuff like that. There are apps on there. However, a lot of the apps on the Aptoid store are not necessarily compatible with this phone, so it's a bit much trial and error. I have tried an app, navigation app, which does seem to sort of work okay. But so you have got WhatsApp, you have got Facebook Lite and YouTube and some others that work reasonably well with that. Obviously settings, go into there, you've got wireless LAN, you've got mobile data, etc. So it's got a reasonable amount of functionality to it. The buttons themselves are quite large. We've got a specific button that connects to compatible Bluetooth hearing aids, which tend to be the more modern ones. There's an SOS functionality, which you tend to get on most phones anyway, which can send location information and stuff should someone get into trouble. WhatsApp you can just access by pushing that button there, and you've got contacts as well. Now, interestingly, setting up the contacts, it's a bit problematic actually, this, and the reason I say that is, let's see options, so I'm going to edit this. It has something here, so record name, so you can push this button here. You can see you switch between the touchpad and the screen. So it says push this, just basically push OK to start recording. So Fred Blogs, click done on there, so play that back.
Fred Blogs.
Okay, so I've done, and it's not put it in, it's just putting a fake number. 04474369258. Save. Please input name. Well, I've just recorded the name, but it's not gone in there. And every time I try to do this, the record the name bit doesn't actually work. It doesn't actually put it in. Now, this is where it's slightly strange. If you remember the old style of phones, we used to have to scroll through the keys. And this does the same sort of thing. But when you push the 2, you can then switch from the actual hard key and 2 here to then the touch screen. So let me just delete that. So you want to put in Fred Blogs, we touch 3 and then you touch the F on here, And then we go to 7 and go, so you're switching between the keypad, I've done that wrong there, the keypad and the touch screen to enter stuff in, if that makes sense. You go between 1 and 2. It's okay, a bit of a pain when you start doing email addresses and stuff like that, and you've got app functionality, and if you're using passwords where you've got uppercase and lowercase and different characters and things like that, it does get a bit messy. To be honest, you start doing that, and also you start putting in addresses and things like that, which could be upper and lowercase. It's not the easiest of things to do. So in some ways, it's a bit of a mixed way of doing it. It's got some functionality which is great for people who have got challenges in using phones and maybe need big buttons and stuff, and other ways it's a little bit more complicated and not as easy to use as, say, some of the more modern, more technically advanced phones where you've got something like a voice assistant like Siri or Google, you go, hey Google or hey Siri, and you can then talk to it and it will do things for you, so you don't actually really have to physically mess around with the phone. This doesn't have that, which technically makes the phone harder to use for someone who's got some challenges in their life, where this is a bit more difficult to use because you're having to mess around with the keys all the time. But as a straightforward, simple phone to use, just want to use it as a phone, it's easy, it connects with your hearing aid, the buttons are big, you've got access to WhatsApp, so you can do sort of video chat. It's got a camera, yeah, it's not going to be great, let's be honest, it's not a great camera. It's a relatively low price phone, it's fairly robust, you know, you've got front camera, you've got rear camera, it's got all the functionality that you're most probably going to need of well, it's a basic phone, because it's not a basic phone, so it's got quite a lot of stuff built in, and it's a pretty good price. Currently, let me just check, it's $129.99 on Amazon, which, you know, it's a nice clamshell design, you've got the dual keypad and touch screen. You know, if you think about keypads on modern phones that don't have the touchscreen, they can be a bit tricky to use. You know, this is very easy to do. It's saying that, you know, when you're doing this scrolling between, so it does talk to you.
5, 6, 3, 8.
If you put a number in, but again back to those, putting a phone contact. Sometimes I find myself pushing the wrong character on the screen, even though I've got particularly big fingers. So a bit of a mixed bag. I still think it's a pretty good phone for what it is and for the price and for the functionality getting on there. It's not bad at all really for the price. I think you just got to think about what you actually want the phone to do, you know, what that person's needs are. You don't just have to be senior, you might have other challenges in your life. It's not particularly heavy really, obviously it's a little thick because it's clamshell design. You know, but overall it's not bad. I think it's quite a good phone for what it is, and it works reasonably well. I could just sit there charging. It does come with, I've put it left on my desk, it comes with a sort of lanyard thing that you can have it wrapped around your neck so you can carry it around with you all the time if you need to. Yeah, not bad. I hope this helps. I've done a written review of this as well, so I hope this helps with your purchase decision. Thanks for watching. Bye.